See, I feel like that's what they're trying to fucking make me think too. It's fucked up, Gabe.
It doesn't matter, Nick.
I don't want
It's fucking funny, Nick.
It is funny. Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny to talk about this stuff. No, Nick, it's funny. Nick, this is great material.
No, it's not.
For a movie, Nick. We're pitching a movie. That's all we're fucking doing.
No.
So relate to me that interaction with a kid, like, hey kid, you can do whatever you want. Don't listen to your mother.
No, I didn't say
See, that's
that.
a terrible. I know it's a terrible example.
I didn't say that.
You stay away from my son,
that
you evil.
way.
Do the impression of the black woman. Well, it's not racist.
No, it's not racist. Of course, it's not racist. It's just what she was saying. I don't want to fucking talk about this because I don't want this put out there. I don't want my whole potential for a movie career.
No, Nick. This is your pitch. This is your opportunity to pitch. What are you talking about? This is a fucking great movie. It's a fucking great movie. Like, one man realizes he's like a god, but then he turns away from it and says, "I want to be like a regular person."
I want to be human.
Yeah. See, that's a good lesson because you're just being used as a tool. You're just being used as a tool. I think. What? What's that?
Whatever you believe, whatever.
Yeah, words and thoughts have power.
So if you believe that you're under control, you are. If you don't, then you're not. Unless I step inside a Faraday cage and then sure enough, there's no communication or whatever, none of this experience is happening to me at all.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Oh, that's gonna happen. Yeah. It is electromagnetic. All this stuff.
Yeah.
All this magical phenomenon. All this weather manipulation and training the consciousness of other people and using it as a weapon. That's all an electromagnetic phenomenon. Because our nervous systems are electromagnetic, and all the tissues in our body are resonating electromagnetic.
I know they are.
It's a complex interaction that is happening all the time. Yeah.
Biological machines.
Yeah.
The electrical impulses.
And because the design of you is similar to the design of somebody else, so that's why you're able to do it. That's why you're able to interact with them so easily.
Yeah. Well, I think we're just connected to other human beings because we are one organism. I think we really are, and we're connected to a whole. And beyond that, we're everything, right? So it's it's more craziness that we have to talk about. It doesn't matter, Gabe.
It's not craziness, Nick. This is interesting stuff.
It's interesting.
Nick, they talk about all manner of things on these podcasts and. What? It's not. That's what people. This stuff gets millions of views.
I don't want millions of views.
Why not? It's a way for you to promote your movie. It's a way to promote a movie, Nick. A movie script that you sell.
Fucking work. I don't want to do the work.
You don't want to make money?
No, I don't want to make money with that script because I don't. It's too much fucking work, Gabe.
What about okay? So are you going to continue to develop? I mean, American Ego is basically finished. I mean, it's a great script. It's really good.
But it has nothing to do with this.
Why? Okay.
It's a different fucking story completely.
I know. I know. So what? Okay. So what about? Okay. I don't know. You should pitch that then. You should pitch American Ego.
Well,
it's about Mr. Trump. It's about Mr. Trump.
That's what people think. That's
what they want to make.
It's about the spirit. It's about the spirit that is in human beings in America at the moment that allowed for the election of Trump, or partially the election of Trump, and how we would like to experience ourselves and how we would like to see ourselves, and kind of the strengths of that, and then also the tremendous weaknesses and downfalls of that.
Well, that's interesting, Nick. That is really damned interesting, and I'm sure people would love the theater. The millions of theater goers would be greatly enhanced by experiencing that kind of thing.
A whole lot of fucking people would be like, "Oh my God, Nick's the worst person in the world."
So what?
And then there's a bunch of people that be like, "Oh my God, he's great."
Nick, you got all this. You got all this money to shield yourself, to insulate yourself from their opinion, their bad opinion, and then you can send out your goons to
And I
deal
don't
with
want
them.
goons.
If they try to step up.
That's not my
Okay,
way.
that's I know. You don't have you can handle it with a fence, Nick, in a remote location, out in the country, having your own castle out there. You know, you don't have to have a dungeon down there where you torture.
People are just going to think that we're both schizophrenics, and it makes sense because we're, you know, genetically linked, and our mother has had a history of blah blah blah.
It's Nick. It's the Neanderthal influence. It's the copper hair. It's the pheomelanin. I have a red hair underneath this brown hair. So do you.
Well, yeah.
So do you. You got yeah. And then it's our mother's experimentate. Well, our grandmother was experimented on by a Navy doctor over on the East Coast.
I don't know what
That's a real thing. That was going on. That happened.
I know, but I don't know.
That was taking place back in the 60s.
Full picture.
It was an MKUltra type experiment.
Like what's happening with me and you, I don't know. I don't have.
It's an extension of MKUltra. That's all it is.
Okay, well.
It's just an MKUltra light. It's an MKUltra copycat program.
Well, I'd like
that
to
all kinds of different
cage and
people.
confirm that.
Exactly.
Myself, yeah.
Exactly.
Like a real good solid one. Anyway.
Yeah.
Gabe, I'm sorry that
You don't want to do a punching tutorial on how to do a power punch. Like you're really good at that, Nick. You were like
I know, Gabe.
doing like thousands of pounds, right?
I don't know what I'm
Per square inch or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, this thing's no good.
No, it's moldy. Yeah. That's taro, huh?
What is it?
Is it taro?
Yucca.
Yucca. It's yucca. Okay.
It's like one of the most mineral, like nutritionally deficient like root vegetables in existence. It's just starch, basically. That's all it is.
And they fry it in pig fat down where they
In Africa, I guess.
in Africa. Yeah.
Not just other places, but that's like all. But it can grow in really shitty soil. Like for example, what was it like Jones? That fucking cultivator.
Oh, Jim Jones?
Yeah, that was what they ate.
Oh, they ate yucca.
One of the only things that would grow.
Oh, right. Yeah, they do. But yeah, they do make fries with it down in the rainforest. They do. And the rainforest is super deficient mineralogically.
Right.
They gotta slash and burn to grow crops. Other than that, you're out there, you know, trying to be a hunter and gatherer in the wilds, this overgrown thicket of hell. So, where the insects are eating you alive, you know. So, yep. I would like to go down to. I'd like to go on a maybe go over to the Malawas or something, you know. Sometime. I have some. Okay, you have work though right now.
You got work.
I could go over there, maybe.
Malawas are beautiful. You could go there. Yeah. But I think this is maybe the wrong time because it's probably too fucking cold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that's true. I mean, but you know, it could just be turned into a survival show. You know. Yeah, it does bother them.
Sure, it interests
They think we're crazy.
It
I know.
interests other crazy people.
No, it interests people in general. They think it's a great laugh. They think it's a joke. They think
they're
it's.
like, oh, this is crazy, weird stuff. I don't want to listen. I don't want to watch this.
But there's all kinds of abstract art that's comes across that way, and it gets tons of views.
Well, because people believe it's fucking whatever. It doesn't matter.
They believe it's an artifice. That's what they believe. They believe it's totally artificial. They believe you're just an actor, Nick. They believe I'm just an actor. That's all. That's the consensus opinion.
Yes, that's right. That's what they believe. I think, or at least according to what my whole thing is going on with me. Yeah, like that's part of it too. Like,
Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, people think I'm just a fucking CIA plant. That's all they think. That I'm here to just do this subtle manipulation thing.
Yep.
And it's a steering thing. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. And that is actually what I have been doing. But I've been doing some things that counteract that. But you know, it's inconsistent. But
well, that's the
I
problem.
mean, it's to scare people. It's to scare people.
Because here's the thing:
Yeah.
we're human beings, right? And so, like, we have to have a narrative, a story that we believe in order to make sense of our world, in order to have like a trajectory that makes sense to us, and have certainty. And so, like, the delusion of like being a human being and being fearful of all these things, you know, all these imaginary fears, when there's actually nothing to fear.
I've been talking to him for days and nights now. He's told me many times that he thought he was going crazy.
Well,
That's
survival
just what
means
they want you to
underliving.
think,
That's what
Nick.
it means.
I've told him again and again. I
Or
told him
to
that
live,
it's
I
just a
say,
bunch
or
of
if you wanna,
frequency
like,
sets
live,
like how they call
serve
steel animal
others,
traps
like,
sets.
it would be
These are samples from your
Okay.
mental jumble gleaned from remote neural monitoring.
right?
It's fed into
You're
this
right, I
beastly
guess. Well, I thought it
supercomputer,
was-
and a mind control script is generated. You play the file, it re-resonates in that formed smart dust nanotech radio transmitter in your hip like Jason Bourne, and voila! You're in the comedic spy movie you
It's not
described to
bullshit.
me.
It's codes.
What a story, what a
Words are
story, Mark.
magical spells.
He was driving along doing all sorts of deliveries, 14-hour shifts and such, prompting him to do all this remote influencing of people he's passing by. Stuff you can do at a stop sign, and he's speaking into their
the dream
minds.
of God. Yeah.
Now, it's been said that you can do that, and of course, all these little superpowers are
God's
very
pleasure.
possible to develop when
Anyway,
you're soaring on
anything fucking genuine
LSD,
is solid fucking
especially
gold,
so in
man.
childhood, or even the
You should,
womb.
like, not react to this
Anyway,
fucking
this
camera.
is
You're a
so
fucking
monstrous.
professional fucking actor. You acted in fucking
Anyway,
multiple fucking
he's
movies.
on
You're
foot
also a
with
fucking
some
script
food
writer.
delivery
Fucking-
clutch, and some
you
great
directed
actor
stuff.
of the
How did
gang
you-
stalker or
didn't you
trained of the
direct?
free-range citizen comes up to test whether or not Nick can actually somehow put a voice in his head. And then, during some downtime, do you want to talk to John Boy McCracken? Are you opposed to having it filmed? If not, enter the contest and join the Brotherhood of Men, or become another wasted target. During some downtime, he reported that I had supposedly been speaking to him, telling him to sick his mind upon one of the enemy operatives in the vicinity, something they just demonstrated he could do with epic ease. They just demonstrated to him he could do epic ease. I was telling him to psychically kill, twist the spinal cord until it's sheared. If you don't do it, they're gonna kill you, Nick. They're all around you for miles. This is a test. There's nothing you can do. You have to join the order. They're too powerful. And then a bunch of cop cars sped by heading south on the interstate. I was saying to him along the lines of, you hear that? They're after me. I really fucked up this time. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to these guys. I'm going to get them to call it off. And then I came back saying, okay, you're safe. You just need to help me kill these fucking cops. Don't fucking argue with me. Just smear these pigs. I was telling him in a more gritty, incisive, and canine language than this reproduction allows. Keep in mind, this is happening after a scene where he was listening in on me torturing and raping a young woman, telling her to growl for me. And she would comply with a full and rapid beating heart, Nick told me, because she thought compliance was her best strategy for being let free eventually. This was absolutely convincing, he assured me. And then the Satan machine had me killing her in some horrible way that he wouldn't venture a description on. Just saying that it was so fucked up. It was so fucked up.
That I was experiencing 20 years
I told him that they're just trying to get you to kill me, Nick. That's all.
That's all it is.
Common tactics. Anyway, I beat the law and then go to ground. At least my portion of the play is wrapped up.
I wonder.
I tell Nick now that he's one of them. He can have his own castle out in the country, complete with a dungeon. There's $5,000 in his account, though he has to spend it in the next couple of days. This foreign-accented woman is talking his ear off about what a great job he did. He can't even be called human anymore, and how sexy he is, by golly sakes o' mine. Then I think she actually appeared on the scene from what I gather. Nick told me that I'm still an agent. I said, yes, I am, but I'm not trying to be. I instructed him to regard all these happenings as research for a movie. Comedy spy novel that turns out to be a real horror show. It was like patiently pulling teeth, the extraction of the story from his pent-up guts. He knows too much now, they were telling him, and he's got to edit his screenplay American Ego their way, so that it's a sort of Trump justification allegory. Something to cheer the businessman, show him to be a wise protector who's got to live by his own rules. Maybe he could just maybe he could make it somewhat objective. So what? He said he's been thinking of quitting and going on the run. Well, maybe that's a good idea. I'll get a canopy for my truck.